It's the album that changed everything, Metallica's Black Album. In Cause and Effect, Metallica, author Chris Akin takes you back to the lead-up, the release, and the shockwaves that followed. Relive the moment that divided fans, reshaped heavy metal, and turned commercial radio on its ear. With insider stories and personal memories from rock critic and radio personality Chris Akin, this book is a backstage pass to one of rock's most iconic moments. Get your copy now at chrisakin.net or on Amazon. Don't miss out on this epic journey through heavy metal history.
Hey everybody, Michael Sweet of Stryper here, and you are watching CMS TV.
Chris Akin Presents, and I, of course, am Chris Akin, and today on the show, we are talking to yet another legend in the world. 40 years of doing it, still kicking ass, still as good as ever, heavier than it's ever been, I think, for the last 10 years, and still has a great message. The new record, definitely message-filled, When We Were Kings, out on September the 13th. It is the band Stryper, and here to talk all about it is the great Michael Sweet. Michael, how are you, man?
What's going on, man? I'm doing good. Busy. And I'm sitting here looking at my studio, which is a mess. I've got to clean it up and start rehearsing for the Stryper tour. I got a lot of work to do over the next 3 weeks.
Well, and of course, a couple of days of press makes it even more fun, right?
Well, yeah, and turn a couple of days into, probably more like every day between now and the time I leave. So, and that's great. We're talking about the new album and want to get the word out there. And I love talking to people, so it's all good.
Right on, man. Well, dude, before we dig into When We Were Kings, let's go back. It's been a crazy time for you, I guess, health-wise. Every post I see is either a new band or a health thing with you. So how are you doing health-wise? Are you feeling better? Is everything coming together?
I am, man. Comparatively, I'm doing great. And, there are a lot of people out there who are, dealing with real serious issues. My issues fail by comparison. I mean, my retina detached twice, and I got through that. This left eye, my good eye, is got tears in it. And I'm going to get checked in a week on that. And my thyroid issue, I caught it early. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. And I know people who have gone through it a lot worse situation. Mine was caught early, and I'm very fortunate. So, knock on wood, I don't have any wood around me, but I am very happy that I'm a pretty proactive guy with my health. At least I think so. I stay on top. I go to the doctor every year and get a physical. If there's something wrong, I go right to the doctor. My brother, I don't think he's seen a doctor in 25 years, 30 years. So there's those two types of people. And I try to stay on top of things, and I'm glad that I do. And hopefully I'll be around for a little while longer.
Right on, man. Well, let me ask you this, man, as far as doctor thing, and I've been through it myself with a major health thing. How do you balance faith in God versus faith in doctors? Because that's tough.
I don't come from the school of if you're sick or something's wrong with you, you just pray and you're healed and don't go to a doctor. That's just silliness.
Mm-hmm.
You may as well put a bullet in a gun and play Russian roulette, because that's what you're doing.
Right.
You have to go to a doctor. Doctors, I think God, blessed many doctors to obviously with wisdom heal us. And, we rely on them, and you got to find a good doctor. And if you got something wrong, you go have that doctor take care of it. But then I think on top of that, prayer really works. I've seen it work. It's powerful. Many people are praying for you, and I've seen God move through doctors in an incredible way. So the two are combined and so important.
Right on, man. Well, Michael, let's dig into the record, man, because I'm sure you don't want to talk about health for the whole time. But tell us about When We Were Kings, man. Great record. You guys have just been on a run, like a very, I don't know, it just seems like the past 10 years or so, maybe even a little longer, the music's been a little heavier, it's been a little more cohesive, and it's been just stronger overall in every direction you look at. So tell me about that, and specifically tell me about coming together for When We Were Kings.
Well, when I talk about, excuse me, when I talk about Stryper, I always try to remove myself and come at it from an outsider's perspective, point of view, because you're in the band, you're going to be biased, you're going to have very clear, strong opinions based on the fact that you're in the band. But trying to remove myself, I say things that upset a lot of people. I think this album blows away our past albums in every way, shape, and form. Production, performances, songs, hooks, everything, you name it.
Right.
And there's no way to really prove that other than to get in a time machine, which we cannot do. But if we were, let's just say, able to do that and go back to 1986, our biggest album, To Hell with the Devil, multi-platinum, and we took this album with the same machine at that time, Enigma Records, Capitol Distribution, Christian Distribution on the Christian side, playing arenas, I think When We Were Kings would have outsold To Hell with the Devil easily, and basically been a superior follow-up to Hell with the Devil, and people would say, "Oh my God, this is better than To Hell with the Devil." Back in that time frame. Now, though, because you have nostalgia and all the memories that go along with that, people will not ever say that. They will say, nothing's as good as To Hell with the Devil.
Right.
It's just not true. I don't agree with that. When We Were Kings is better than To Hell with the Devil.
Sure. Now, I've seen in several interviews that you've done, and I agree with it. The music has been getting heavier and heavier and heavier for you. I mean, it's not Metallica or Slayer heavy, but I mean, it's for what Stryper does, it's very heavy, the heaviest you've done. I have a theory. Tell me if it's right or wrong. I think that the music has gotten heavier as the world has changed, and maybe you guys are a little bit, I'm going to use the term angry. I don't know if it's the right term, but you guys are angrier because Christianity has changed from something people maybe questioned to something that's openly mocked, which puts more anger in you guys, which then when you go and create, causes you to create in a more aggressive fashion. Is that fair, or is that completely bogus?
Well, it does upset me often when you see a band come out or a person come out and speak about openly their faith, their belief, whether it's they're a Muslim or they're an atheist or they're a Satanist or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And
right,
they get this. But often, when a Christian comes out, a Christian band like Stryper, what have you, they get,
Right.
and it's just the way it is. And people that don't agree with that, they're like clueless, because it's out there everywhere for the world to see. Anyone with eyes and ears can hear it and see it. So continue to deny that it's truth. We've been mocked from the very beginning. If we sang about girls or Satan, we would have been the cool kids.
Right.
But we're not, because we sing about Jesus. And man, you mentioned Metallica and Slayer. No disrespect to those guys. I would never want to be like those guys. Not in a million years. Yeah, they're playing stadiums. Who cares? I didn't get in this for the money. I didn't get in this to play stadiums. I mean, that's obviously, there's a rush that comes with that when you play to a big crowd, and it's electrifying. But my point is, that's not what we're doing this for. So we don't long to be Metallica or Slayer, and we're not that style. I grew up on Maiden and Priest. That's metal to me.
Right.
Those are the true metal bands. Classic metal with a great singer and great melody, not the other stuff. Again, this is my opinion. People will disagree with me. Perfect. Totally. That's the way it works. But man, we're going to keep being who we are. We have been for 40 years. I don't know how much more time we have left in us, or years we have left in us. It could be another 10 or 15. And we'll just keep doing what we do. And we'll still have the haters, and we'll still have the people that love what we do.
Sure. Let me dig into that a little bit. The end part of that, where you're saying you don't know how much more you've got left. Is it because you don't feel like you still have as much juice creatively, or just age, or what is it that you think will eventually stop you from doing Stryper as an entity?
I would think just when it becomes a job, and it's starting to feel like a job more than ever. Okay. Going through the motions, the grunt of 5 a.m. lobby calls and doing 4 in a row and lugging suitcases. And, if you're the Rolling Stones, you don't have to do that. People say, right. How do the Stones do it? Well, that's how they do it. I guarantee if they were lugging all their crap around and, doing 4 in a row and traveling on a bus, all of them in one bus, they wouldn't still be doing it. I promise you that. But we do have the physical side that goes along with the task, and it's pretty grueling. It's a lot of wear and tear. We take care of ourselves, but it's still grueling. So that's what I mean by that. In 10 years, 15 years, I can't see myself lugging 4 suitcases and a guitar through an airport at 4 a.m. when I'm 80 years old. I'm sorry. Maybe I will be. But I just can't envision that. It's very difficult for me to
sure
wrap my head around that.
Do you think you'll always be a music creator, though, even if it's just sitting with an acoustic guitar at a Starbucks playing for 20 people, just so that you get that rush that you need to be you?
100%. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'll never go away. I mean, music is, it's what I do and what I was born to do. And it's in my blood, in my DNA. I was created to do this, and there's no question about that. So it's never going to go away. It's always a part of me every bit as much as eating or drinking water or breathing air. It's such a crucial, important part of my life. If I don't do it, I feel that I would die, without music. I couldn't survive without it. So yes, to answer your question, absolutely. I'll continue doing music in some way, shape, or form until I'm gone. Right. But the touring aspect, the touring side, I don't know about that.
I hear you. Well, Michael, let's get into the record. I always try to start with my favorite song on the record. In this case, it's the song Grateful. Love it. Tell me about that song and how it came together.
Well, it's interesting. That song almost didn't make the album. I wrote it, I did a song a day. And when I got to that song and I wrote that song, I almost didn't send it to the guys. I was a little hesitant and somewhat skeptical because it doesn't fit in with everything else. I think the guys tend to like and appreciate the heavier side, and that's great. So do I. But I also tend to like and appreciate the lighter side, I feel, a little more than the other guys. I could be wrong about that. But I feel like I'm the one saying, hey, we got to do a ballad, or hey, we got to do this that's a little lighter, or whatnot. And I think that song, it takes you back to the past in a good way, to the Calling on You, Always There For You days. That poppy melody. It's a song that could be any genre, basically. You could hear it on pop radio, on rock radio, on country radio even. And I love stuff like that. It's one of my favorites as well. And people seem to really be liking that song.
Yeah. It's a very cool song, and it's got a unique melody to it for you, which I really enjoyed. I just think it's a great song. The other one that I'm really digging, and it's one that you've already shared with everybody, is Love Symphony. Great songs. Got the video out there for people that want to go check it out on YouTube. So tell us a little bit about this one. Tell us what you were trying to say with this one.
Well, it's a love song. It could be taken in terms of a one-on-one relationship, two people, or just as a society. The world. Love conquers all. Love heals all. And we all forget that every single day, because we read something that upsets us and then we show the other side of love, the opposite side often, hate, in our words and our actions and whatnot. And the bottom line is, if we could just control that, and show love all the time, this world would be healed. We wouldn't have wars. We wouldn't have, people trying to kill one another.
Right.
There are people with health issues out there that, may, for whatever reason, sadly, try to harm someone else. But you know what I'm saying for the most part. And it's so simple, but yet so complicated.
Right.
And I always use the term, and my household's probably sick of hearing it, but we're so smart. We have incredible education, and we have incredible schools around the world, and some just ridiculously intelligent people, but yet we're so stupid at the same time.
Right.
It's like the smartest people do the dumbest things.
Mm-hmm.
Make the dumbest decisions, and you just kind of sit there, you're scratching your head thinking, what is happening? What are these people missing? And so often it's just driven by motive, some other motive of, achieving more, or getting more fame, fortune, all that stuff. But it's really sad to see. But love, the moral of the story is love conquers all. And that's the moral of that story in Love Symphony. Very important story to remember.
Absolutely. Well, Michael, you mentioned it earlier. Touring is coming up for Stryper. Tell us about where people will be able to catch you in the next, let's say, 12 months or so. A lot of touring, I'm assuming?
Yeah, they're adding tour dates as we go. We're starting out early September, and we go through to early October for a month. We come home for, I think, 8 or 9 days, then we go back out for a month. So we got 2 solid months of shows. I'm not sure exactly how many shows. If I had to guess, I would say probably in the 40, 45 range right now. And we'll probably add some more, but we're excited to get out there, do what we're going to be doing, which is a classic set, kind of looking like the classic days, an intermission, and then a modern, more present set, kind of looking like now, and doing songs from 2005 on. So it's going to be really interesting and really cool. We're going to be supporting the new album, doing at least 3 songs off of that album.
Great.
The question is which songs. That's going to be the hard part. We may upset some people by not playing certain songs they want to hear, but it's difficult, man. We're playing 24 songs.
Wow.
It's going to be a long set. An hour and 5 minute each set, and a half-hour intermission. So a good 2.5+ hours.
Wow. Are you ready for that vocally?
I sure hope so. I sure hope so. We're just doing something real different. No opener, more theaters, some clubs, but more theaters, so people will be able to sit down and relax and chill. And it's just going to be different, a different experience, but in a really cool way. And we're really excited about it. And everyone seems to be as well, everyone else.
Right on, man. Well, Michael, let me ask you about a mutual friend of ours. I'll move away from Stryper just for a second. What do you think of how our friend Mariah Formica's doing?
Oh, man. Well, I first heard Mariah sing in New York at a place called Chrome.
Okay.
My good friend Darla, our good friend Darla owned it. I don't think it's anymore, but anyway, I heard Mariah sing then, and I was really blown away. I came out of the dressing room and watched. I never do that, ever. And I did, and was really impressed. I wound up working with her, writing a song and called Time, and producing it, and just doing whatever I could to help her. I had her sing on one of my songs. And she's just an amazing talent and an amazing person. I love her.
Sure.
As a person, just as much as I love her voice and her talent. And it's so great to see what she's doing. She deserves that. And she's made quite an impression and is going to continue doing so. She's definitely a torch carrier. She can carry the torch for rock and roll for sure. And she's got that. She grew up on that stuff and old classic music, and you can hear that in her music. It's really cool.
It's really amazing to kind of watch. She's of that generation that would have benefited you guys of having the social media, and literally, I'm like you. I've known her since before Plush. So, watching it develop is so fascinating, and just seeing how it's growing. And you obviously are a big part of it. If you hadn't helped her, she may not have continued on. You don't know.
Well, and my wife, I got to give my wife props too. My wife really helped push that along. But yeah, absolutely. And I got right behind her, and Lisa and I together just kind of wanted to do whatever we could. And same goes for Gabby Ray, Gabriella. She's got a new album coming out as well. Same thing. Incredible talent, incredible person. We've known her for years. And we want to do whatever we can to help these girls and any other people we meet along the way, because they really are the future. When we retire, they'll be carrying that torch and helping to keep rock alive. I would love to hear them do something a little classic sounding.
Sure.
That would be amazing. A little more old school, like an original, but that's more old school instead of the modern thing, which I love too. But that would be incredible. Yeah, I wish them nothing but the best. They're great people.
Absolutely. Well, Michael, Stryper is back once again. September 13th is the date. When We Were Kings is the album. Is Stryper.com still the best place to keep up with you guys, or do you lean people more toward the socials, or what?
Yeah, socials, Stryper.com, of course. There's always new updates there, new merchandise. The socials are very active, especially mine. I mean, I'm really active on Facebook and Instagram. And from my Twitter, my X account, I basically got logged out of that account. I'm still logged into Sweet and Lynch and Stryper, but I got logged out of that account, and I can't get back in. I've written to X multiple times, haven't heard anything. I'm not really sure what to do at this point, but basically someone else has control over my X account. So I'm saying that so people know. That's why I haven't been on X. But there will come a day soon when you won't even see me on socials. I mean, when I retire, that'll be it for me. There's more to life than socials.
Agree with that.
and there should be. We should all turn off our phones and our computers and deactivate our accounts for a little while sometimes, because man, we get so caught up in all that baloney.
Right.
It's just mind-boggling. Yeah.
Right on. The message is go outside.
I mean, just give it a rest. I mean, it's great for what it is for a season, but man, when it's just constant, you're posting 10 posts a day of a picture of you in front of the mirror,
Right.
or like, gosh, oh my word, go live a little bit. Put the phone down.
Agree, man. Well, one more time, new Stryper album is called When We Were Kings. It's out on September the 13th. And Michael, as always, man, it's a pleasure talking to you here on Chris Akin Presents.
It's great talking to you too. Thanks for having me. God bless everyone listening and watching. And I can't wait to see you out on the road. And we love you.
This episode of the CMS Network is brought to you by our sponsor, Blackout Coffee. If you are a coffee lover, you will love what they are selling over at Blackout Coffee. Make sure you get yourself some. The only thing woke about this company is the drinker of the coffee, because it gives you quite a jolt. I am a personal fan of the Brutal Awakening Dark Roast, but everybody's a little bit different. Make sure you get what is your favorite today. Go to blackoutcoffee.com. Use the promo code CHRIA20 to save 20% on your first order. It's that simple. So one more time, blackoutcoffee.com. That is the link, or use the full link if you're going to shop around. That is scrolling on the bottom, and get yourself some of the best coffee that is out there today. blackoutcoffee.com.